Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Right now at 5, neighbors say they could hear the screams, a robbery and stabbing at a business, and police say that's just the beginning.
Also, brand new information into a deadly stabbing in Taylor. A 22-year-old killed, and police believe it was his friend who did it.
But we begin with a story breaking right now. U.S. intelligence confirms North Korea has now become a nuclear power.
President Trump has just issued his response, and he is promising what he calls fire and fury if the regime doesn't back down. Blaine Alexander has the story from Washington. Blaine?
Well, Devin, there are still several steps to go before a nuclear weapon is finalized, but this new major development now ramps up the pressure on the Trump administration to take action. NBC News is reporting North Korea now has the ability to miniaturize a nuclear warhead, making it small enough to fit onto the head of a missile. An ominous milestone met with this ominous warning from President Trump.
North Korea best not make any more threats to the United States. They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen.
This on the heels of an intercontinental ballistic missile test experts say could reach U.S. cities as far east as Chicago. The news coming just one day after North Korea angrily warned of thousands-fold revenge for a unanimous UN vote imposing $1 billion worth of sanctions, labeled by the Trump administration the harshest in a generation.
What this is going to do is send a very strong message and a united message.
But still not enough to get North Korea to back down.
That's where we are now, working on deterrence with a rogue regime that will soon, not now, have a realistic capability to strike us, Japan, South Korea, and Australia.
North Korea flexing its military muscle as the U.S. relies on diplomacy. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson working to reassure countries living in North Korea's shadow. And experts say the development was not unexpected, but it came much sooner than anticipated. Blaine Alexander, NBC News, the White House.
All right, Blaine, experts say North Korea does, again, still have some work to do. They need to establish that they can deliver accurately while surviving re-entry into the atmosphere with one of their missiles.
And some more breaking news to pass along to you. Glen Campbell, the rhinestone cowboy singer who fused country and pop, has died. During a career that spanned 6 decades, Campbell sold more than 45 million records. In 1968, one of his biggest years, he sold more than the Beatles. The singer, guitarist, and TV host revealed he was suffering from Alzheimer's back in 2011. Campbell was 81 years old.
What a singer.
Yeah.
What a guitar player. All of it. Yeah, it really is. Ypsilanti police have arrested a woman they say robbed a business and stabbed an employee and later punched and robbed a woman in a wheelchair.
The woman's description and MO are identical to a home invasion yesterday in Ypsilanti Township. Jason Goldthorpe is gathering new details in the case and a possible connection to a similar case. Jason?
Well, both agencies are working right now, Kim, to see if these cases are connected. Ypsilanti Police and the Washtenaw County Sheriff. And there are a lot of factors that would lead you to believe that, including proximity. Take a look at a map of where these assaults have happened. The two that happened yesterday, police tell us they believe it is definitely the same woman. And the one that happened the day before, the victim told me the interesting thing there is the woman who got away after assaulting he and his son got away with a knife. The first incident was about 6:30 Monday night at Fatu African Caribbean Market at the corner of Adams and Michigan in Ypsilanti. But we're told the woman was there 10 minutes before, trying to beg or take money from the register, then left. When she came back the second time, police say the motive was the same, to rob the place. Only this time she had a knife, and when she went through this door, she found herself in a struggle with one employee.
I just heard screaming outside, people were yelling.
Matthew Adicha was in his apartment upstairs.
From the window I looked and saw that it was the lady downstairs that had been stabbed. She was bleeding.
He raced down to help the 41-year-old woman who'd been stabbed in the shoulder.
I saw a brown van moving away. So they said the lady that stabbed her was in the van that just drove away.
Police tracked down her vehicle in Pittsfield Township, but wouldn't catch up to the woman before she came here to Chittister Place around 10:30 and punched a woman in a wheelchair in the face and stole her wallet. She was arrested shortly after, not far from where it all started.
It could have been me.
This neighbor walked by the restaurant moments before the first attack.
It's just a shame. I don't know what the problem was. I don't know if she was on drugs or what, but most likely.
Well, that original attack on Sunday morning, the victim told me yesterday that because of this woman's behavior, he very much thought she was on something, drugs or was drunk, something like that. He described her as a black woman in her 30s. Police have in custody a 43-year-old black woman for this crime. Back to you.
So, Jason, are police giving you any other details about this woman?
Just one very big one, Kim, and that is she was recently released from prison. We'll likely learn a lot more about her tomorrow when she's arraigned, including her name.
Yeah. All right, keep us posted, Jason. Thank you.
Tonight, two friends from Taylor with two very different stories. One was killed early this morning, and the other is accused of killing him. 22-year-old Alex Gardner was stabbed early this morning on Clippert Street near Wick and Telegraph in Taylor. And as Nick Monticelli reports, not only did the suspect confess, he's the one who called 911.
Good evening. The 23-year-old suspect was taken here to the Taylor Police Department. He had to sit for hours to sober up before he could even talk to detectives. But before he even came here, he did confess over where the stabbing happened.
It's shocking. It's shocking.
The step-grandfather of the man suspected of murdering his friend did not want to show his face, but did say detectives were in his house looking for more evidence right after the stabbing.
They went in the basement where he lives in the he stays in the basement. They went down there and I don't know what they took. They took a couple things, they said.
The stabbing and murder of 22-year-old Alex Gardner happened around 1:30 this morning. Neighbor Beth Jeffrey watched as paramedics frantically tried saving him.
They were going at it, you know, and there was a few of them around, and then it did take off while I was still outside, and probably head to the hospital.
Unfortunately, that is where Alex was pronounced dead. According to police, around 1:30 this morning, there were about 6 guys hanging out, including Gardner and the suspect, who got into a fight. The suspect pulled a 7-inch knife and stabbed Gardner at least once. The knife was left in the street, and the 23-year-old suspect confessed almost immediately.
Advised us that he had been in a fight with one of his friends and he had stabbed him.
Alex Gardner's mother says he loved his family and was extremely close to his 10-year-old sister. He just enrolled in classes at Wayne Community College and also got a full-time job at Walmart. His life was just taking off, but his life was taken away in an instant. It was the same man accused of killing him that called 911.
He had the phone and he was trying to call the police or somebody.
So he called police himself?
He called he called either police, or ambulance, somebody.
In Taylor, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
You know, the suspect's name will be made public once he's arraigned. That could come as early as tomorrow. Alex's mom says they weren't going to have a funeral, but his younger siblings want to say goodbye. They are now asking for help with those expenses, and a link to their GoFundMe page is on clickondetroit.com.
A Highland Park man will spend a considerable amount of time behind bars in the murder of a woman on the city's east side.
45-year-old Timothy Bernard Hawkins pleaded guilty to second-degree murder after 48-year-old Averill D. Taylor was found dead in the basement of her home. That was back in January. Taylor was found struck in the head with personal property missing from her home. Hawkins was found shortly after being seen driving her car. Today, emotions ran high as Hawkins learned his fate.
I just want to apologize to the family, Your Honor.
How do you apologize to her for that?
Say what you want to say.
Hawkins will now spend the next 30 to 60 years in prison.
Northbound M53 is now open after an accident this morning left it closed. It happened just before 9 north of 25 Mile Road in Shelby Township. A Pontiac G6 and an unhitched trailer collided, leaving one 23-year-old man with serious injuries. An initial investigation found the trailer came unhitched from another vehicle. The man injured was transported to a nearby hospital.
Good day to hang out in the weather office, your weather pod, because this is what it's all about in the summer.
Yeah, it is. I mean, when we woke up this morning, it seemed like summer was gone for good.
That's right.
But man, that sun really warmed us up fast.
Gorgeous.
And we got into the 80s, but we started in the 40s in some spots. In fact, Ann Arbor, at least at the airport, which is ridiculously cold on clear nights, got down to 44. But there were a lot of spots that were in the upper 50s, and then the metro zone started out in the mid 50s. However, with dry air and almost full sunshine, that got us right into the 80s this afternoon in almost every location. Sandusky's checking in at 77 right now. So these numbers are actually above average for this time of year, considering we started below this morning. So it's going to be a beautiful night, mainly clear and hard to beat with that low humidity and light winds. And we're going to do it again for much of the 7-day forecast. We will look at some slight chances of rain. That's all coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, Ben. The polls across Detroit and other communities are open as primary day continues. The biggest races are right here in Detroit, where voters will trim the list of candidates for mayor, city council, and clerk. In several other communities, voters will decide on proposed millages. Also, new voting machines are in place in Detroit and Wayne County. And remember, once the polls close at 8 p.m. and results start to come in, you can find them on the politics page of clickondetroit.com.
Just getting started here today at 5.
Much more ahead here in this next hour of news, including a norovirus update at a Michigan summer camp. And this local mom is heading to jail for a very long time. What she pleaded guilty to doing that sent shockwaves through the community. Coco?
Driving along 94, you just might see a billboard for Egypt Covington.
People have pulled over because it goes by so fast, but I definitely think it's keeping her out there.
Hear more from her mother and what the family hopes comes from these billboards.
New at 6.
With high school football season just weeks away, one local team is missing something very important. What was stolen from them and how you can help get it back.
Also, they say it was just an accident, but they sure seem to feel bad about it. What the company that damaged this wall, forcing a bar to close, is doing to try and make up for it now. That's coming up at 6.
Well, it's been over a month since Egypt Covington's family got the call that changed their lives forever.
It was June 23rd. Egypt's body was found murdered inside of her Van Buren Township home. Now, a month later, her family wants everyone to know Egypt's killer is still on the loose. Coco McAvoy spoke with her family just a short time ago and shows us what they're doing to try to get justice.
There are 6 of these billboards spread out in different areas, and the family of Egypt Covington is hoping it leads to some answers and justice.
It's very difficult. We need her out there so that people don't forget.
Tina Covington mourns the loss of her daughter Egypt every day. Egypt was shot and killed in her home back in June.
It doesn't get any easier. I won't get closure till I know something why.
Billboards donated by Lamar Advertising are catching a lot of eyes, and Tina hopes it leads to information.
A lot of people have pulled over because it goes by so fast, but I definitely think it's keeping her out there.
She says police are continuing to get more leads in her daughter's case, but need solid evidence.
I could not imagine if this turned out to be a cold case.
Tina's surrounded by memories of her daughter.
This is her 8th grade picture. This is the necklace that she wore.
She's caring for Egypt's pup.
He is Buddha now.
And there's a memorial in her home dedicated to Egypt.
Yeah, all of these rocks her friends painted.
Now she and the rest of Egypt's family just need the person who did this to turn themselves in. And maybe the billboards will help.
Hopefully they'll slip up somewhere. Somebody knows something. They just need to come forward.
Out here live now, and anyone with information who knows what happened to Egypt Covington is asked to call the Van Buren Township Police Department. Back to you.
Yeah. All right, Coco, we'll stay on it.
On the west side of the state, the norovirus has left dozens of people at a camp sick. The first 30 illnesses at the YMCA Camp Eberhart in Three Rivers were reported July 29th. Staff notified parents and worked to disinfect the camp, but 16 more campers and a few staff members became sick. So this led the camp to announce a closure so the camp can be disinfected again. The YMCA now hopes to have the camp back open by tomorrow.
Well, as Ben said a little while ago, if you just sort of ran outside this morning to grab the paper or whatever, hello, it got your attention, didn't it?
Quickly. Yeah, I was talking with somebody from Florida today, and I just wanted to apologize to them because they have to deal with the humidity. We don't.
We don't.
And we get all the warmth and sunshine to go with it.
Nice.
I'm not sure you get an apology from them in the winter, so
Well,
I don't think you owe them anything.
Right. You got that right. But this is why you come to Michigan in the summer.
That's right.
This is gorgeous out there. A couple fair weather cumulus clouds. Temperatures are into the 80s, but that humidity is even lower today than it was yesterday. 32% as far as the relative humidity goes. Of course, that doesn't tell the whole story, but we've got to show you the national map to actually show you where the humidity is. You can start picking it up here in the Tennessee Valley and definitely down in Florida. They're looking at dew points in the 70s, and that is tropical air, but you can see much of the northern tier of the country in the west all seeing dry air right now, and it looks like we're going to continue with at least manageable humidity throughout most of the 7-day forecast, and hardly a cloud to see here on the satellite image. Not really picking up some of those small cumulus clouds that are hanging out here in Detroit, but we're going to continue with mostly clear skies this evening, and that's going to take us into tonight, where we're expecting to see another clear night, but temperatures not quite as cold as what we got to last night. So we'll wake up with just about 3 or 4 degrees warmer as we start out tomorrow morning. But a whole lot of nothing here over the next few days. Model trying to scare up a shower tomorrow, which I don't think is going to happen. But once we get into Friday, it looks like we may see a couple rounds of showers and storms. This is very early in the morning. We could be seeing some activity. And then again, as we get into the afternoon, the cold front driving that probably not going to pass us until late Friday night. So there could be 2 rounds as we get into Friday. But until then, whole lot of goodness to get through. Tomorrow we'll go to a high of 83, mostly sunny skies, and that humidity stays low. In fact, breaking down those highs tomorrow, we'll start in the metro zone. Low to mid 80s is what we're looking at here for most of the areas. South zone temperatures will be pretty much the same, just slightly cooler out here towards Lake Erie at 79 in Luna Pier, maybe inland areas at 79 as well. West zone temperatures are going to be in the low 80s tomorrow, anywhere between 81 and Howell, Brighton at 80. One of the warmer numbers are going to be in Canton at 82, and some 70s showing up here in our north zone, just like what we saw today. Sanilac County, you're in the 70s and probably going to stay there again tomorrow. 77, 78 there at Sandusky and Lexington. Then we start picking up the 80s down here towards M59 for high temperatures tomorrow. So rain chances are scant. There's a couple of them here in the forecast Friday, and then again as we get into Sunday. I don't think that we'll probably see that on Monday. Notice temperatures are going to be in the 80s. Friday will be the best shot at rain. Sunday there's just a slight chance. So most of that weekend is looking dry. And notice that those morning lows start getting a little bit warmer. That's indicative of slightly higher humidity. But again, it's going to be manageable, especially for this time of year. So we've lucked out. I know a lot of folks would like to see some more rain. Hopefully we'll get it on Friday. But as far as what's in between, can't beat it with a
signature Michigan summer.
You're right. Good stuff. All right, Ben. A startling uptick in a deadly form of cancer. Ahead in Good Health, how the results of a new study could change your thoughts about getting tested.
But first, a Michigan mother sentenced for having sex with underage teens, how she says she lured them in. Next. A Michigan woman is heading to prison for having sex with 2 teenage boys. 38-year-old Brooke Longinus of Lima Township learned her punishment on Monday. Prosecutors said last summer the mother of 2 posted nude pictures of herself on Snapchat, and that somehow led to sex with a 14-year-old and a 15-year-old. Longinus later pleaded guilty in exchange for certain charges being dropped, so she will now serve 4 to 15 years in prison. A busy afternoon for Detroit police as they embarked on a foot chase for a man who was on the run.
This is video from the scene today off Woodward. The suspect is believed to be responsible for a shooting. He was allegedly spotted, which is what prompted the search. That suspect remains at large. Stay with Local 4 for further updates. Police in Portage, Michigan are investigating a crash that killed a bicyclist. It happened Monday evening. Investigators say a 20-year-old man was riding his bicycle on northbound Portage Road when a Chevy pickup truck struck him from behind. The bicyclist, a Kalamazoo Township resident, died at the scene. The driver in the pickup is also 20 years old. Right now, police are trying to figure out what led up to the crash.
New at 5:30.
The windows, the siding, the roof, the gutters, so many things that could potentially be a problem. What you should have the experts take a close look at before you make a big purchase and sign on the dotted line.
They didn't find him until it was way too late.
The other kids were dropped off, and the daycare worker didn't realize that Miles was still in the van.
A preschooler killed, and the sheriff says this could have easily been prevented.
This mechanic's chair is going to act as a seat for a dentist. This lawn chair is going to be a dental chair.
People need glasses. People need to talk to a physician.
All of this for a very special medical care program that's going to be happening right here. We'll have full details.
We'll celebrate. It's an event thousands are expected to attend, and it has Cobo Hall turning into Detroit's largest doctor's office. Tomorrow, Cobo will be packed with people hoping to get access to medical and dental treatment they just can't afford.
This is not going to be small. Doctors and dentists say they expect to treat 3,000 to 4,000 patients. Rod Maloney shows us how this massive effort all comes together.
Cobo Center is a convention center, and for a very long time in the city, the auto show is about the only thing you'd come to here, but the city's changed dramatically, and downtown Detroit is vastly different. And tomorrow morning, bright and early, Cobo converts into a giant medical clinic. But if you thought the lines getting into the auto show were long, volunteers spent the day assembling medical equipment and sorting donated clothing, all to do something not seen here before, especially on this scale. Dr. Randy Griffin, a dentist, travels the Midwest helping with these programs put on by the Seventh-day Adventists and the Adventist Medical Evangelism Network.
Take care of a toothache. Extract a tooth that needs to come out. Put a filling in a tooth. Put a crown on a tooth. Do a root canal on a tooth. Clean people's teeth. Just some of the very basic things that we all know we need, but a lot of people just cannot afford or cannot do.
They'll offer 60 dental chairs, 4 optical positions, and many other simple procedures.
We don't ask for any insurance. We don't ask for any identification. We don't ask for any proof of income at all. You can be totally destitute. You could be a gazillionaire. You come in, if you show me you have a problem, we'll take care of it.
For free, but there is a catch. It's first come, first serve. Organizer Grace Daly says help is not limited to health care either.
If someone needs rent assistance, if someone needs housing assistance, if someone needs help paying their electric bill, child care assistance, WIC, you name it, we're going to have 30 tables of community resources that are ready for action.
All right, so this is how it's all going to work. They're going to open the doors at Cobo at 6 a.m., let in a large group of people, not everybody. The line will probably still be out the door. At 7 o'clock, they're going to go into medical triage after they've done some education and talk to people about, helping themselves. Yeah. By 8 o'clock, the hope is that they have people in the chairs waiting for the doctor, so that when the doctor and the assistants show up and ready to work at 8 a.m., they're ready to go. Back to you.
Rod, we have to assume, though, long lines, inevitably, somebody's going to be disappointed. But I know they're doing a number of things trying to make sure that this works for everybody.
Well, yes, the big thing is, Devin, is this is not just tomorrow. So it goes tomorrow, Thursday all day, 8 to 5, and then Friday from 8 to noon. So if you don't get in tomorrow, you can certainly get in on those other 2 days. But the best answer for everybody is to get there early.
Absolutely. Terribly important opportunity. All right, Rod.
A daycare center in Orlando, Florida will likely face charges after a 3-year-old boy died after he was left inside a van. The family of 3-year-old Miles Hill became alarmed when he was not brought home from the Little Miracles Academy. They called police and searched, and then found the boy's lifeless body in a van where he had been left all day in temperatures that reached 93 degrees. A daycare worker admitted to not taking a head count when dropping off the children.
So if confirmed by the autopsy, Miles would be the 32nd child that has died while being left in a hot vehicle this year, and the 5th in the state of Florida.
That daycare center was cited by state inspectors last month for flaws in keeping logs on transporting children.
Heavy rains pound the Houston area, causing flash flooding throughout the region.
Now, the rain started on Monday, and obviously this is going on and on. We'll bring in Ben for a little bit on what, is on tap for the next few hours and days.
It's not over yet. Yeah. They're expecting more rain there through Sunday. And because of that, authorities remain on guard. They're also urging residents to stay prepared because some areas have received as much as 5 inches of rain. Some roads completely impassable and the streets looking more like rivers, prompting about 24 rescues. It's probably important to mention this is not from a tropical storm or a hurricane. This is just a slow-moving, stagnant sort of spin-up that's just been dumping rain on there. Ironically enough, Franklin is just to the south. That's going to make landfall probably in Mexico, maybe as a hurricane, but it should miss Texas.
Got things popping up all over the place, though, right now, which is odd for early August.
Well, I mean, usually we're talking tropical storms.
Right, yeah.
That's not the case.
Yeah, all right, Ben.
Well, in Florida, a massive sinkhole that has led to 7 homes being condemned is showing some signs of more danger.
Sinkhole opened up last month in Land O'Lakes, which is near Tampa. It quickly swallowed 2 homes, and now officials are finding new cracks in foundations and sidewalks. So operations are now underway to try to shore up the hole by dumping tons of limestone along its edges. But concerns remain since the location where the sinkhole was originally a lake. Do you even trust them when they say it's all good now, you can move back in? Yeah. Today in good health, death rates from colon cancer had been falling for decades, and yet now that trend is reversing.
Alarming new research from the American Cancer Society finds more younger adults are dying from colon cancer. Kimberly Gill joins us now with more on why this is happening.
Yeah, well, that's what experts are trying to figure out, Karen and Devin. They really don't know why, but these new statistics show death rates have been increasingly steady among white Americans under the age of 54, right when they should just be beginning colon cancer screenings. This is the best kind of chaos as far as Katie Rich is concerned.
There's a lot of noise. But there's a lot of love.
She was so busy being a mother for so many years, she may have missed symptoms of colon cancer. Her diagnosis, stage 4 cancer, came at age 33, just months after giving birth.
I never thought cancer, never. So it was a major shock.
After surgery and chemotherapy, Katie is doing well 5 years later. But new research finds a growing number of people in their 30s, 40s, and early 50s are not only diagnosed with colon cancer, they're dying from aggressive tumors.
It's shifting the burden of colorectal cancer to young families.
The American Cancer Society finds the rise in mortality is confined to white adults, and experts don't know why.
This increase in incidence is real, and it's scary because we don't know what's causing it.
Signs of colon cancer include persistent abdominal pain and changes in bowel habits.
It's okay to talk about your bowels. It's okay to get screened. Most of the time when we do a colonoscopy, when they're done, they say, God, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
The American Cancer Society recommends most people start colon cancer screenings at age 50. Given this new research, many doctors say those guidelines may need to be re-evaluated. Yeah. Now, it is important to note the majority of colon cancers still occur in people over the age of 50, but you can reduce the risk of colon cancer at any age by cutting back on processed food, eating more whole grains, fruits and vegetables, and getting plenty of exercise. But nonetheless, really scary for, Katie, just 33 years old.
Well, your gastro tract is so important.
It is.
And I don't think a lot of people recognize.
Gut health,
Right. Yeah. And when you notice a difference, as we said, your bowel habits, things like that, you really need to bring it up with your doctor. Yeah.
Thanks, Kim. You're welcome. Well, Google continues to grapple with fallout after a male engineer slams their diversity efforts in a 3,300-word essay. And new reports are saying that the employee in question has been fired. However, Google has declined to confirm that firing. The unidentified employee said women should not take tech jobs due to, quote, biological reasons. The writer also said diversity programs are merely political actions. Nearly 70% of Google's workforce is male.
I love that music. Music to my ears. Can only mean one thing: the Olympics are drawing closer and closer. In fact, today marks exactly 6 months from the opening ceremony in Pyeongchang, South Korea. Tonight, Jay Gray has a look at the U.S. athletes working day and night to make their mark and take home some hardware. Jay?
It's quiet here now, stadiums and arenas waiting for the world.
And in just 6 months, the world will be here. Fans and athletes filling these venues for the start of the 2018 Winter Olympic Games.
To be able to compete at that stage, which is such a dream come true.
As the excitement builds, the actual building is all but done. South Korean officials say Olympic preparations are 97% complete, and Team USA is ready as well.
You know, I'm looking forward to putting everything on the line.
But there is another line, just 150 miles or so from the host city, the border with North Korea, where there is growing concern leading up to the Games. Global tensions high as the country continues ballistic missile tests, and in the wake of new UN sanctions, today a direct threat. North Korea's official news agency saying there's no bigger mistake than the U.S. believing that its land is safe.
It's scary.
And as they train, the athletes are aware of the unrest.
Yeah, there's some fears around North Korea. I'm sure they'll have great security, but yeah, it's definitely like a little bit of a gray area.
Still, for most, their focus is on the competition.
Let the games begin.
In 6 months, they will. Jay Gray, Local 4.
Yeah, the political intrigue behind it is going to be fascinating to watch. That
another thing they have to really compete against mentally too, because you've got that challenge.
And the Winter Games are already sort of death-defying feats, as opposed to not that the Summer Games aren't, but really they're right on the edge of catastrophe all the time in the Winter Games. 6 months from today. Coming up, a man goes off inside a McDonald's.
Tonight, what you won't believe what witnesses say got this guy so fired up he started throwing punches.
Also call it the deal of a lifetime. We'll tell you how a California couple was able to buy an entire street full of $1 million homes for less than pennies on the dollar. Hank?
And Devin, as you know, the real estate market is hot. Before you sign on the dotted line, though, you want an inspector to take a close look at the air conditioner, the chimney, also the important details that you may overlook. Expert advice right after the break.
On Jeopardy! New at 6.
This man was once a Boy Scout leader and a U.S. Border Patrol agent. Tomorrow he's going to jail for something he did with a preteen boy. The sentence coming up at 6 o'clock.
And construction is coming near Metro Airport. That's going to make getting in and out more difficult. What you need to know, depending on which terminal you're using.
Now here at 5, the real estate market is booming both here in the city and in the suburbs, but there's one thing you want to make sure you do before you sign on the dotted line. Before you close the deal, you need to make sure the property you're buying is not only safe, but free of any major problems.
So tonight, the experts reveal what you should be looking out for. Here's our consumer investigator, Hank Winchester.
And Karen and Devin, it's all about making sure the home that you want to buy works for you and your family, but you also want to make sure everything is in good working order, like those big ticket items, like the air conditioner, the fireplaces. Is the roof secure? Information tonight from the expert.
Listed, sold, closed. Homes are going fast in this market, and buyers are eager to get the deal done. But don't go too fast. Make sure the home is well maintained and cared for.
When you have a lot of landscaping in the front, it could be hiding some defects.
Like a foundation issue.
Exactly. And the first thing you always want to look for when you're looking at a house is the foundation.
Okay. Adam Helfman with Hire It Done says it is key to have a licensed home inspector look over any potential problems, both inside and outside.
Always, if you're going to buy a house, the roof and the foundation are always two items that you should have a professional check out.
Inside the home, windows are a big ticket item. Bad windows can mean higher heating bills.
You got to test the window for up and down, make sure it works. However, you also want to look at the glass. You want to make sure there's no condensation and no fogging, because if there is, that's a sign that the window's failing.
In the basement, here you need to focus on the furnace and the hot water heater. And of course, looking for any potential water problems.
You've got to inspect the foundation for signs of water damage.
Okay.
So when you go down here, you can see this block wall is nice and clean, and this is the sign of a good foundation.
The furnace and AC should be checked by the pros. Make sure you take the time to tell the seller of any issues before you get to that closing. And also make sure everything is in writing and well documented.
Back out here live, working with an inspector is a good idea just because they're looking for potential issues or problems that you likely wouldn't even notice yourself. Also, they'll go into parts of the home that you may not want to, like a crawl space.
We're live here tonight in Royal Oak. Hank Winchester, back to you.
I admit, you're right, Hank. I don't want to do that crawl space thing. How much do we need to budget for a home inspector?
Oh, Drew, I can see you crawling through that crawl space, right? With the flashlight. The prices are really going to depend on the square footage of the house. On the low end, you're looking at about $200. On a high-end home over 3,000 square feet, probably somewhere close to $500. But most will tell you it is a good investment. Back to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Hank.
To protect your honor, how many crawl spaces do you suppose Hank Winchester's been through?
You know what? I think we should have gone back and asked him that. I don't think he would have done it either. Feathers fly at a popular world championship race in the UK.
Hens and roosters have been training for the past couple of months because every year 30 to 40 of the world's fastest chickens run along a track. There's very strict international criteria here. They must have both clawed feet on the starting line, and no pecking is allowed, also known as the pecking order. Some racers don't always follow that rule, we should point out. There is a fair amount of distracted wandering that proves to be a recurring problem as well, like what we're seeing here.
And in case you're wondering, the final was won by a spunky hen named Cooked
Go
It.
Cooked It.
Who would name their hen Cooked It? That's like horrible.
You think you think the chicken minds?
Well, like, what do? You win and then you cook it?